Hey guys, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Higurashi One Day Cry Chapter 3 Tatarigoroshi. So last time we had a nice moment between Satoko and Keiichi, right? Like sibling moments, right? It was very nice. So let us continue. Let us see what happens today. What kind of slice of life, I guess. So we're back in school
お、そうなんだ。
with Mion.
ケイちゃんの親帰ってきたんだね。
栄養剤臭がプンプンして目は充血してて、どうも丸二晩徹夜で相当の修羅場だったらしい。大人は大変だ。
ケイチ君のお父さんって画家さんだったかな。画家さんも大変なんだね。そういえばそうでしたわね。一度どんな絵を描くか拝見したいものですわ。
An artist, huh? I did a number of watercolor and acrylic paintings on display, but he had to have been doing some other job too. Just what did Dad do exactly? He didn't let anyone in his workshop after all. I wanted to sneak a peek one day.
結局家を開けたのは二晩。短い攻略期間だったね。で、ケイちゃんは異中のキャラを攻略できたのかな。両親不在はギャルゲー主人公の基本だしね。
What arrogant protagonist?
好感度をいっぱい稼いでちゃんとフラグが立ちましたですよ。
I have no idea what any of you are talking about.
じゃあこれでケイチ君ももう自炊しなくてもよくなっちゃったんだね。ゆうべは何を作ったのかな
In the end, I didn't make a single thing myself.
ゆうべは野菜炒めを。
おお、ケイちゃんも少しは料理らしいものを作れるようになったじゃない。
ふーん、野菜炒めを作ったんだね。美味しくできたかなレナさん、暑苦しいですわよ。なんで私にベタベタくっつきますの。美味しいご飯に仲良くお皿を洗いっこなのです。はあ、いいの暑苦しいと言ってますのよ。
何の話？
Mion, utterly confused, asked me for clarification, but I just barely, albeit transparently, averted my eyes.
そうそう。みんなさ、今日の午後に予定はあるかい？ないよね。あるわけないよね。
Today was Saturday, the beautiful day on which we were liberated from the confines of school in the afternoon. Actually, the school in Hamizawa had slightly different Saturdays than those in the city. There were a lot of students here who brought a bento, ate it at lunch, and then went to play in the school or around the schoolyard. You could say that the entire school turned into a children's playground. There were mountains behind the school, and if you went down that way, you'd find mountain streams. You could avoid the strong sunlight and make conversation in the classroom if you wanted to. You could also play hide and seek in the construction pipes. Of course, you were free to go home as well. There were some kids who went home and helped water the fields or tended to the stores. If Mion was bringing up the afternoon like this, then it must have been for some crazy big club event. However, sadly I had something I needed to do before taking part in whatever it was.
お仕事ですか？ついてないのです。何の仕事でございましょうね。お父さんの画家の仕事のお手伝いとか。お父さんの絵のモデルになるとか？モデル？
A model?
ヌード？
Why are you blushing right now? I looked into Rena's eyes and saw myself completely naked in a questionable pose with a single rose in my mouth.
ないない。 それだけは100万積まれても絶対にない。
To get rid of Rena's delusions, I grabbed her head and swung it from side to side.
やめて
とまあ愉快な妄想は置いといてだ。とにかく俺にはちょっとお昼に仕事がある。それが終わってからの合流でいいなら OK だぞ。
お昼に仕事？おお、そりゃなんだかかっこよさげじゃない。なになに、ひょっとして各界の VIP との会食？ビジネスランチとか？
実に悲しいことだが正解だ。
Wait, what? Oh, but okay, I understand now. Everyone shouts wildly surprised. Wait, who? Oh, instantly we went home. That was fast. It was true. Today I'd be on the job with my family. For my dad's job, he was having about 10 people from the publishing agency over for a house party. Okay. He called people from work for a party the day after having stayed up 2 nights in a row. I'm amazed at their vitality. Adults have it pretty tough. Or rough. Of course, it would be incredibly uncomfortable for me. It would be really tiring to have to force myself to smile at some old dudes I didn't know. But they were my dad's important business connections, so offending them would be bad. Well, with all that said, it wasn't going to get very uncomfortable for me today, starting at lunch.
これは利発そうなお子さんで。
具足の圭一です。圭一、こちらは出版社の本田さんだ。
Honda-san.
そしてこちらは印刷会社の井上さん。ご挨拶しなさい。
どうもこんにちは。息子の圭一です。父がいつもお世話になっております。
圭一くんもお父さんのように絵は描かれるのですか？圭一くんの絵もぜひ拝見したいな。
My dad had such a brazen occupation, that of an artist. Although I don't really know what kind of things he creates. I don't really care and don't want to see anyways. Dad is so tight-fisted about it, so he doesn't show them to me very often anyway. I'm not a kid anymore, so I wouldn't care at all if they were just pictures of naked ladies or anything.
圭一くんもお父さんに指示してしっかり勉強すればきっとお父さんのような素晴らしい作家になれますからね。
ここだけの話ですけど、親父ってそんなにすごい画家なんですか？
I readied myself and whispered my question. It might have seemed odd for his son to be asking this, but when it did, he gave me this really strange grin and tightly clamped down onto my shoulders.
それはもう本当に素晴らしい作家さんなんですよ。
そうですか。それは良かったです。
購入制限はないし、ファンサービスはするし、ファンレターには必ずお返事をくれるし、世間のニーズもちゃんと汲み取っていて研究熱心。靴下は脱がしたら絶対に NG。それはメガネや制服だって同じなんですよ。そこを前原先生はよく理解している。イベントは参加ごとに必ず壁で大行列だし。
すみません。絵ってのは壁に飾るものじゃないんですか？
そんなことはない。それは誰もが島中から始めるんです。そして島角、大通りの島角と階段を登って、そして至る頂点が壁なんです。あなたもぜひ前原先生と合体で出展できるような大作家になってくださいね。応援していますよ。
It's fine to have a lot of passion for the things you like, but I didn't get it, but it seemed that the world of art ran pretty deep. It was probably a much deeper world than I could have imagined. I decided to leave it at that. Then I realized my mom was calling me from the other side of the room. Why don't we have Keiichi's mom and dad sprites, right? Yeah, the other characters Okumura and Tomita has their own sprites, right? Why doesn't Keiichi's mom and dad have one? I mean, Keiichi doesn't have one yet. As well.
電話よ。お友達から。
A lucky break. Maybe I could get out of this uncomfortable business party by using a friend's phone call as an excuse. I scampered over to the front door and snatched up the receiver my mom had left there.
もしもし、俺。
もしもし俺
Oh, it's Satoko. This is the first time Satoko is calling, right? In any chapter, I
な
mean.
んて挨拶はございませんですわよ、ケイイチさん。もう少し言葉遣いをお勉強なさいませ。
I was of the opinion that the person speaking to me had a far stranger way of talking.
なんだ、サトコじゃねえか。お前が俺のところに電話してくるなんて珍しいな。
のんきなことを言ってる場合ではありませんのよ。それよりもケイイチさん、あなたいつになったらこっちに来れますの？
Oh, yeah, because I think Keiichi said last time, right, he's gonna go to Satoko's house for dinner.
悪い。こっちもなんだか長引いちゃってさ。なかなか解放してもらえないんだよ。俺も早く部活に加わりたいんだけどさ。
違いますですわよ、ケイイチさん。今日は部活ではありませんわ。実践ですのよ。
Real battle? Satoko's voice was different from normal. I could feel the urgency in it drifting through the phone.
実践？なんだか穏やかな話じゃないな。どういう状況なんだ？
詳しくは会ってからの説明にいたしますわ。とにかく絶対的な危機なんですの。このままでは負けてしまうでございますわ。
I guess this is just a game, man. What on earth was going on? Could it have been a fight? I didn't know who they were, but laying a hand on someone from Hinamizawa was an absolutely terrible idea.
おう、わかった。すぐに火星に行くぜ。場所はどこだ？
沖宮小学校のグラウンドですわ。
Okay.
駅まで来れば看板があるからわかりますですわよ。とにかく大急ぎですの。
The school campus. The situation could have been a lot of people involved. Could it have been turned into an all-out brawl? Who was the enemy here anyway? Ooh, I'm on
わ
fire.
かった。すぐ行く。
Yeah, Keiichi's like overthinking this. It's gonna be like some game.
武器も持って行った方がいいか。金属バットでも持っていくか。
金属バットをお持ちですの？それは心強いですわよ。お待ち申し上げておりますですわ。
The call cut off abruptly. I needed to hurry. So what are they playing?
お、ケイイチ探したんだぞ。こちらの出口さんがな、ぜひ次のコピー紙で。
そんなことよりバットないかな。金属バットなければ長物なら何でもいいや。
長ければ何でもいいなら父さんのゴルフクラブが物置にあるぞ。
Golf club. It didn't have the same kind of impact, but the golf club was a splendid weapon too. It was lighter than a baseball bat and maybe easier for me to use.
サンキュー。それ借りるよ。俺ちょっと友達のところに行かなきゃならない用事ができちゃったんだ。ごめん。
ケイイチ待ちなさい。
I grabbed the golf club, jumped on my bike, and headed straight for town. Wait for me, Satoko. I'll be right there. Just hold out until then. I didn't actually know where Okonomiya Elementary was exactly, but Satoko's phone call seemed to demand emergence or urgency, so I rushed out without asking her about how to get there. But if I went to the station, there would be signs at least. I feel like that's what she said. Then I heard a jingling of bicycle bells from behind me. Oh,
こ
Rika-chan.
んにちはなのですよ。
おう、リカちゃんか。
ケイイチ早かったです。いっぱいいっぱい急いだですね。
Damn. This isn't the time to be out of breath. I need to hurry.
すまん。沖宮小学校ってのはどこだ？
ご案内しますです。ついてくるですよ。
Rika-chan rode off on her bike. I followed her.
急にサトコに呼び出されたんだが、一体どういうことになってるんだ？
はじめはこちらが優勢だったのです。ところが途中から向こうが助っ人を入れてきたのです。ず ズルなのです。
A helper? What cowards calling for reinforcements the minute they realize they'd lose?
みんなバッタバッタと打ち取られましたのです。歯が立たないのですよ。
Gulp. Sounds like they were pretty strong.
とにかく詳しい話は後だ。時間がないんだろう。急いでくれ。
お任せなのです。
With Rika-chan leading the way, we headed straight for the elementary school grounds. I asked Rika-chan something during that time. It seemed that all of the club members besides me were part of this fight. Damn, so what Mian was trying to tell everyone was that this would happen? If I hadn't known that, I would have just ditched my family job. But it was too late for regrets. According to Rika-chan, we had a one-sided advantage to start, but our angry foes had brought in a powerful ally. The club member put up resistance and went against them one by one, but apparently they couldn't stand up to them.
部活メンバー総がかりで勝てない？一体そりゃどんな化け物なんだ。
すごいのです。敵は正統派なのですよ。
Orthodox. So they weren't using thuggish brawling tactics, but actually studied karate or something? Is that what she meant?
もうケイイチだけが頼みの綱なのですよ。
Okonomiya Elementary came into view. I could hear many voices racing hell over there.
ミヨン、レナ、サトコ、今行くからな。俺がまとめてぶっ潰してやるぜ。
There were a lot of bicycles left out in front of the school. I left mine there next to them in the same way. I could tell there were a lot of people flooding the campus. Were the two armies in the midst of a huge no-holds-barred brawl? I took my golf club in hand. Whoosh, I swung it. I felt the sensation of it sticking firmly to my palm. Great, the feedback wasn't bad. I'm gonna go out with this thing. I dashed at a breakneck speed to the school gates, swinging it around.
ついてこいリカちゃん。男前原圭一のバンプ不当な大活躍を見せてやるぜ。
ああ、ケイイチがとても頼もしいのです。ゴルフクラブで大暴れなのです。
Rika-chan applauded me though, a little dryly, lauding my valiance. The manly Keiichi my bar put it behind him and headed for the place where he may die.
でもケイイチ、どうして今日はゴルフクラブなのですか？
I think they're playing baseball because he had the field, and when Keiichi said a metal bat, right, Satoko said, yeah, that might be good.
仕方ないだろう。俺も最初はバットの方がいいと思ったんだが、うちでバットなくってさ、素手よりははるかにマシだと思って、せめてゴルフクラブを持ってきたんだ。
偉い偉いのですよ。ケイイチをなでなでしてあげますです。ゴルフクラブで大暴れが楽しみなのですよ。
Despite the emergent situation, Rika-chan reached up and stroked me in the head.
おい、ふざけてる場合かよ。え？
Crack. Just then, an extremely loud metallic sound rang out, and I heard many people cheering.
レフト、あー抜けた。あれー、二塁いけるぞ、二塁。
センター、落ち着いて。三塁へ送って。
The center fielder caught the ball and, after a brief pause, sent it flying to third base. If he had pitched it wildly, it might get there. He gave up on a second and threw it to the third without time to spare. The instructions from the bench, they were solid. Wait, what?
あ、ケイイチくん来てくれたよ。さとこちゃん、さとこちゃん、ケイイチくん来てくれたよ。遅い遅すぎですわ。油を売るのはガソリンスタンドだけで十分でございますのよ。
その前原君って子は本当に助っ人になれるんですか？
New character. How do you pronounce Irie?
相手はあの強豪校のエース左腕の亀田君ですよ。甲子園クラスの投手を打ち崩せるなんて一体どんな助っ人なんです？
大丈夫です。
Why haven't we seen this guy?
ケイイチくんならきっと逆転させてくれますよ。
I mean, I guess it's Okonomiya, right? Yeah, so probably that's why.
本当に頼もしい人なんです。
Murmur. What? He's the pinch hitter we brought in to take out left arm Kameda with his bullet fastball. The one who had no hit, no run game after another during the regional qualifiers. The undefeated demon pitcher of Aoshima. The super high school level pitcher that already been marked by professional scouts. He's going to win against him?
あんなヘナチョコピッチャーなんかケイチさんには目じゃないですのよ。あんな球楽勝でバックスクリーンを越してくださいますわ。
Murmur, murmur. There is a slugger like that in this prefecture? I had no idea. He must have gone under the radar. Okay, hey. That scout stood up. Hey, take a picture. His full name is Keiichi Maibara. Look him up in a database and send his history to our office.
俺が前原圭一だ。写真。
A whole lot of sports journalists led by Satoko grabbed their cameras slyly and searched for the rumored Keiichi Maibara. As for me, I was so dazed at what was happening that I was frozen in place with my golf club in the air.
ケイチさん、こっちですわよ。え？
The camera people stared at me through their viewfinders, and just like I had, they turned to stone. In the hands of their gallant pinch hitter, Keiichi Maibara was a golf club. I actually don't know. I haven't played baseball, so yeah, I don't know how they play this. Nobody could seem to understand why I was holding something like this. And at this point, neither did I. Cheap. A cold, greasy sweat dripped from me. The only time I played baseball was in a game called Yakuza, if you know that. The first one to break inordinately awkward silence was Rena.
ケイチ君。
おう。
一つ聞いてよろしいですの？
Please don't. Psychic waves of my entreaty flowed out of my face along with my sweat. It somehow seemed to reach the two of them. The deathly quiet reporters all parted as Moses once parted the sea. But Moses probably didn't go through the parted seas this quietly.
野球の試合なら初めからそう言え。
私言いませんでした？第一バットを持ってグラウンドに来いって言ったら野球以外に何を思いつくわけですの？というか何をどう間違ったらゴルフクラブを持ってくるって発想になるわけでございますの？きっとね暗いムードになったチームを明るくして盛り上げようとしてケイチ君がわざとやってくれたんだと思うな。
Rena smiled bitterly and covered me with all her might. Please believe her, everyone. I'm begging you.
ケイチはゴルフが大好きなのですよ。なでなで。
Rika-chan started patting my head, a broad grin on her face all the while. I pushed her hand away, grabbed her from behind by her suspenders, and picked her up like a kitten.
リカちゃん、なんでさっき駅で会った時野球だって教えてくれなかったんだよ。そうすりゃ赤っ端を書かずに済んだのに。
ニッパー。
Rika-chan's smile was like the sun, so incredibly innocent. She's glowing. When I saw Rika-chan's radiant smile, I couldn't help but feel like I could forgive anything she did. However, if Rika-chan thought he would I actually would, then she had another thing coming.
というわけでこれはお仕置きだ。レナ。
Rika-chan still plucked it in my hand. I offered her to Rena. That's right. The kitten find Rika-chan sent Rena's voltage into overcharge.
もらった。レナがもらったんだよ。かわいいよ。
Up, spinny. Rena stuck out her tongue like a chameleon and preyed upon Rika-chan while spinning her around. Oh,
リカちゃんかい。
we got more illustrations. Illustration this. Check it out if you want to.
リカちゃんかい。はう。
Rena held her tight as a vice and began to get her fill of rubbing her cheek into Rika-chan's. Their cheeks rubbed together tightly. Rika-chan's face. It looked like it was being crushed by Rena. But yeah, we're having a lot of, what do you call it, CGs, right? We are just early in the game. Or this chapter, I mean. But we're having a lot of CGs compared to the other chapters.
何があったかは存じませんけど、リカが自業自得のようですわね。
ああ、俺も最近ようやくリカちゃんがただ可愛いだけじゃないと悟ったぞ。
はう。ケイチ君に許可をもらったんだよ。お持ち帰り。
For the moment, I just gave her a 3-minute timeout.
ところでサトコ、緊急の呼び出しってのは野球ってことなのか？
ええ、そうですわ。ご家族でホームパーティーだったんですって。悪いことをしましたわね。でもこういう時は家族よりも仲間の危機の方が最優先と決まっていますのよ。
I felt like that's what I'm supposed to be saying, not you. Well, it was just a business party for my dad, I guess. I honestly felt glad to be called out here.
それでその危機的状況というのはどんな具合なんだ？6対7ってことは負けてるのがうちのチームってことか。ん？9回の裏で2アウト？なんだなんだ？この試合もうほとんど終わりかけてるじゃないかよ。
ケイイチさんがもっと早く来ればもう少し余裕がありましたのよ。ここまで引き伸ばすのにどれだけ苦労したとお思いですの？
分かったよ分かったよ、悪かったよ。で俺の仕事はなんだ？ピンチヒッターでもやるのか？ならば任せろ。こう見えても俺引っ越す前は結構バッティングセンターに通ってたんだぞ。親父が憂さ晴らしに行く時よく付き合わされてさ。ミートバッティングだったらそこそこの自信が。
Broom. A tremendous sound rang out, the likes of which I've never heard before. A tremendous, because the catcher's mitt trembled, sending up a light of cloud dust, telling me the tremendous sound had come from the ball.
ちょっと待ておい。今の凄まじい剛速球は一体なんだ？
驚いた？うん。あれ、本物の甲子園ピッチャーなんだよ。スポーツ新聞でも有名な高校野球のエース、左腕の亀田君って知らない？
悪いけど知らん。で、ミヨン！お前、なんだよその格好は！
And to my surprise, she was wrapped up in bandage. Just what on earth happened?
途中から来たケイイチ君には最初から説明がいるよね。
お、なんだ？リカちゃんはもういいのか？
うん。可愛いのいっぱい楽しいんだよ。ほよほよでやわやわでふにふに。ほっぺだけでご飯3杯はいける。もうお嫁に行けないのです。
I wonder how Rika-chan's cheeks taste if you could eat them 3 times a day. It almost flipped my own delusion switch, but I put a stop to its using logic. I was an adult.
じゃあ説明を頼む。何をどう間違えたらこんな草野球対決に甲子園ピッチャーのリリーフが登場するんだ。
Everyone exchanged glances. Then Rena spoke for all of them.
うん。最初はね、普通の野球対決だったの。
ひなみざわファイターズと沖宮タイタンズはささやかながらも因縁の対決でさ。
Hinamizawa Fighters.
今回もささやかに大盛り上がりしてたわけ。
まあ平たく言えば 学校対決ですわね。ひなみ沢と沖宮の学校の因縁試合なんですの。因縁って言ってもまあ和気あいあいとしたものなんだけどね。
でそれになんでうちの部活メンバーが参加してるんだ？ユニフォームを着てるやつもいれば私服のやつもいるし、そもそも俺たちって野球部ってわけじゃないだろう。
つまり、割といい加減なの。
今日たまたまチームに欠員が出たって言うんでさ、それじゃあせっかくだからって言って急遽私たちが乱入することになったってわけよ。
I see. So if there weren't enough members, anyone could come to the rescue, whether boy or girl, and no matter what grade they were in. The jumbled together feeling was a hallmark of our school.
リカちゃんに聞いた話だと最初のうちは押しまくってたらしいじゃないか。
ミーはすごいバッターなのですよ。右へ左へホームランなのです。
Mion proudly stuck out her chest. Mion, okay, doing so seemed to hurt her somehow, and she groaned pathetically.
ええ、ミオンさんが登場するたびに走者一掃の大ホームランが飛び出すんですの。サトコと違ってちゃんとバットにボールが当たるのですよ。いいか
まあなんとなく話は分かった。あの甲子園ピッチャーが登場するまでは楽勝ムードだったというわけだ。
そういうこと。序盤は完全にうちのチームの流れでね、点にはならないまでもガンガン出塁して攻めまくってたんだけどね。
たまたまね、今日の試合にあの亀田くんが見物に来てたの。
Apparently, Kameda attends a fairly well-known school in our prefecture that frequently sent people to Koshien. And this man, known as the ace of their baseball team, Kameda, seemed to be quite skilled. Now that I thought about it, it was certainly strange to see a cameraman with journalist armbands here to watch a casual baseball game out in the sticks like this.
亀田は小さい頃沖宮タイタンズにいたことがあるのだそうです。
話は見えてきたでしょ。昔のチームが劣勢になって、つまりそれで飛び入りでリリーフ登板することになって、もうバッタバッタよ。出塁はおろかファールも打てないありさまなわけ。
でも甲子園ピッチャーの乱入なんて草野球の試合でずるいですわよ。
All the boys wearing the Hinamizawa fighter uniforms were hanging their heads in disappointment. I knew almost all of their faces. Isn't everyone here a classmate? Oh, I see. We're the only school in Hinamizawa after all.
お、富田君に岡村君じゃないか。君たちも野球チームだったのか。
前原さん。
His uniform was brand new and not very dirty, fresh off the freshest or presses. I could see handmade banners with their names written on them in the grandstands. I see their families came to root for them in their debut game today.
岡村のバットは今日のためにお父さんがプレゼントしてくれたそうなのですよ。
The brand new bat sparkled. With that kind of present, a man has to perform well.
いっぱい今日のために素振りとかしてきましたのよ。富田さんなんかやりすぎて手の皮がむけちゃって、ほら気の毒に。
His torn hand looked like it hurt, but from that injury you could sense his backbone. I get it, guys. You wanted to make your big moment a good one. Vroom. The savior of Okonomiya Titans. You could hear the sound of his Kameda-kun's tremendous fastball practice. This was no joke. He was definitely on a level far above high school kids. But at his level, he clearly shouldn't have been interrupting a grass lot game grudge match, though it may have been. He should have understood how much better he was.
あいつ、こいつら相手にも本気で投げやがったのか。
うん。レナはこんなの大人げないと思う。
Rena's eyes grew harsh. It took a lot to get Rena mad. As for Tomita-kun and Okumura-kun, they were stifling, fighting back tears. We heard another tremendous noise from the mid. I turned around and this left-armed Kamida-kun guy was looking at us and grinning boldly.
というわけよ。こうなったらやるしかないでしょ。実戦態勢で。
ああ、どうやら本気で行くしかないな。
でね、本気で言ってみたの。それでみーちゃんが大自爆して。
Mion, embarrassed, scratched her head and then a moment later doubled over in pain.
自爆って一体何をどう自爆したらこんなに大怪我できるんだ？
説明するととてつもなく長いですわね。一つ言えるのはここまでして戦果なしということくらいですわね。
ここまで体を張ったのに一点も入れられないなんて。
せっかくの秘策も台無しでかわいそなのです。
I couldn't even imagine what sort of plan it was, but it must have been crazy enough to get her that badly hurt.
でもまあ失敗したおかげでまだ野球でいられるんだろ。
ちょっとみーちゃんの奥の手は野球らしくなかったと思うかな。こうなっては仕方ないでございましょう。ここは正々堂々野球らしく決着をつけるしかないということですわ。
そう野球らしく蹴りをつけないとね。
I think normal people would have given up and gone for a full frontal attack. But as a member of our club, I wasn't about to accept that so easily.
野球らしくってのが引っかかるぞ。野球らしく見えれば手段は問わないってことだろ。
私たちの部の新庄だしね。そういうことですわね。手段を選ばないことこそ我が部の美徳でございましたよ。
Rena and Satoko laughed to each other delightfully. It wasn't really a virtue we could brag about, but that's the best thing about our club was that we never rolled over and gave up.
でもカメラがずらーりといるからなかなかズルはできないのです。
Rika-chan spread her arms wide, indicating the array of reporters in the bleachers. She was right. With all those cameramen watching us through those cameras with a giant telephoto lenses, foul play would be fairly tough.
それがネックだったんだよ。これだけの囚人監視があるとなかなか大胆な手が取れないし。いてててててて。
みーちゃんの手は決しておしとやかだとは思わなかったけどな。
Satoko and Rika-chan both nodded behind Rena.
じゃあここで本題に戻るぞ。今我がチームは1点差で負けてるんだよな。
しかももう9回の裏でアウトも2個取られちゃってるの。
おじさんの作戦がうまくいってれば今頃は満塁のはずなんだけどな。
失敗した作戦を嘆いても始まりませんですのよ。へこたれず次の手を打ってこそ我が部でございましたよ。
Satoko said eagerly, trying to cheer up the downcast Mion, whose secret plan has failed. It may have failed, but Satoko still seemed to have another.
サトコがなかなか威勢がいいじゃないか。ってことは何か奥の手があるってことか。
ケイチ君、この子を誰だと思ってるのかな。サトコちゃんだよ。北条サトコちゃん。
That was right. We call her Trap Master Satoko, didn't we? She would ensnare her opponents at the perfect moment at the very end. Everyone in our club knew that we could never ever let our guards down against Satoko.
私が仕込んだとはいえ 末恐ろしく成長してくれたもんだよ。僅差を制することに関しては私でも舌を巻く時があるね。
ちなみに次の打者がミーで、その次の打者がサトコなのです。
We were losing by 1 point, so if you could get the next runner on base, then the runner after that could hit a big one and end the match. And the final batter was Satoko?
ねえ、勝てそうな気がしてきたでしょ。
どういう仕掛けか想像もつかんが、絶対何かの罠だと断言できる。俺が敵のピッチャーなら絶対に敬遠だ。
There was no way Satoko was going to hit a home run, even in my dreams. But if she was going to stand in the batter's back normally without any kind of plan, I can think of anything else she could do.
そのサトコが俺を呼び出したという。なるほど、読めてきたぜ。
It meant that I was a necessary piece of Satoko's trap.
ワクワクするね。サトコちゃんどんなことをするのかな。僕もサトコのさよならホームランが楽しみなのです。
そのためにはケイちゃんの働きが欠かせない。わかるね。これが逆転の最後のチャンス。絶対に失敗できない。
おう、分かってるぜそんなこと。見てろ、俺とサトコででっかい大逆転を拝ませてやるぜ。
ではケイチさん、これから手順を説明しますわ。ちょっとお耳を拝借しましたよ。
Satoko and I huddled up in a hidden place and held a briefing that anyone watching could tell was suspicious.
前原さんと北条は何を話してるんだろう。委員長みたいにとんでもない奥の手で自爆しないことを祈るよ。
Our teammates Tomita-kun and Okumura-kun seemed very nervous. Rena gave them a wide smile, trying to dispel their anxiety.
大丈夫だよみんな。サトコちゃんとケイチくんならきっとやり遂げてくれるから。
でも龍吾さん、相手は甲子園級のピッチャーなんですよ。いくら北条が得意の罠にはめようとしても。
まあみんな黙って見てなって。面白いゲームが見られるからね。
Mion, who knew everything about to transpire, looked like she was having a hard time stifling the laughter bubbling within her. She was so terrifying as an enemy, but so reliable as an ally. Mion waved her hands at the umpire.
代打が出ます。私、園崎美音に代わって前原圭一で。
本当に彼で大丈夫なんですか？
The umpire turned an uneasy gaze on the pinch hitter, who had jumped in with a golf club.
ケイチくんは甘く見ない方がいいですよ。
The members of our club were the only ones grinning with wholehearted confidence. Hey, that was it? Okay. That was it for the first half, I suppose? Okay. So yeah, we'll take a break here. So yeah, why didn't they just made it a whole section, I mean, right? But what do you call this? It was just really funny though. A real battle, right? They said. But it turned out it was just baseball. And yeah, we got a new character, by the way, today, right? His name is Irie, right? I guess he's the coach, right? He can't be a player. He's too old. Yeah, he's probably the coach of this team, right? But yeah, I guess we'll just continue this in the next one. So we're gonna continue this and do more of Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 3, Tatarigoroshi in the next one. Let's see what happens with their baseball game. Are they gonna win? Are they gonna lose? We're gonna have to see. So I'll just see you then, guys. Bye-bye.